It's about to get interesting! What's up, socials? Happy Sexy Wednesday. I want to talk to you and give you a little bit of advice when you are invited to have an opportunity to interview someone. Conducting an interview can be a great way to get connected with new people while ultimately giving them a reason to talk to you in the first place. Just a little trick up my sleeve. But there's a really important thing that you should do in order to stand out with those people and actually make it more of a lasting relationship instead of just a flyby, oh, I interviewed him, he thinks I'm cool, oh wait, he doesn't remember my name. I can tell you right now, if you're dealing with someone like me who is like the worst ever with names, you better be memorable. This kind of stems from one of my negative feelings about podcasts and their tendency to talk about,
hey, I'm creating a show and we're gonna talk to people that you don't hear about on those other podcasts. It's gonna be totally different, totally cooler people, and yeah, we're gonna kick it.
I think that is such a cop-out. I love having lots of new people to listen to and hear their insights and get that new perspective, but don't define your whole shindig around that, okay? You really need to be thinking about not just getting new people, but asking good questions. Everybody wants to ask the same questions. How did you get started? Why did you do that? What was that experience like? How do you feel about it? Are you happy? Are you sad? When are you thinking you're gonna be a success? Are you already a success? It's just kind of like, okay, can we ask a little bit of a different question? The best thing that you can do in any of these situations to get the most out of the interview and the content is to know who your audience is and keep them in mind the whole time you're talking to someone. The cool thing about that is you get to be the connector. The connector card gets to be played here because you get to be the one that's asking the questions, but you can think about what your customer or your audience would ask and formulate it in a little bit more of a sophisticated way that fits into the context of the conversation. That's why people listen to podcasts or watch video interviews. Not because it's just somebody they want to know about, but because if you have a reputation of asking the questions that actually matter to your audience, they're going to tune in for every episode, not just when some A-lister is on. And you know what the interviewee thinks when they get a question they've never gotten before? They are happy. Hopefully if you asked a nice question and not something that's like a skeleton in their closet. You don't want to be like everyone else because everyone else has had the opportunity to create that content and share it with the world. Why is it more special when you ask the question? They basically have all those answers drilled into their head to say because they're like, okay, I literally answer this question 5 times a day. Creativity pretty much flies out the door at that point. It's so important to think differently, do your homework, and find out what your audience would actually care about when it comes to that person. Because that pretty much makes everyone fair game. Ask the questions that make that person relevant because every person is relevant if you ask the right questions. When you do that, the interviewee, you, and your audience, everyone's happy, and that's a great equation for a killer brand that you get to take credit for. That's all for today's socials. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, this has been your Sexy Wednesday episode. Tomorrow we'll be back for Social Thursday, and guess what else? It is 8 days now until my big announcement next Thursday, so you better stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you sign up for the marketing lifestyle newsletter, Amy's Elite, so you don't miss a beat. That link's in the annotation below and also in the description. I'll see you tomorrow.